Naked Inuyasha is back, with several guest appearances in this second season. But is this season cool? Let's find out. Hey guys, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm the Monio, the interdimensional demon that talks about Bastard the most on YouTube, and you're on my channel. Yes, the trashiest anime on Netflix is back, and being very straight to the point, this second season of Bastard expands all the elements that had already been explored in the first season: dark fantasy, exaggerated violence, senseless humor with a break in the fourth wall, a lot of nudity, including the protagonist's nudity. But unlike the first season, which explored much more nudity and the sexualization of women as a form of comedy, here they included much more scenes of men without clothes. So if you enjoy naked men in sensual poses, this anime will also please you. But the Monio, what is Bastard about exactly? Contrary to what many may think, Bastard does not take place in an ancient time. It is actually a futuristic anime, which takes place 400 years after the contemporary era, and humanity as we know it is destroyed by an entity created with the technology of the time. And the world returns to the era of magic, and that's when the first season begins, where we are introduced to the protagonist of the story, Dark Shinider, who is considered the most powerful wizard in the world, but who has very dubious intentions, basically being an anti-hero who always acts for his own benefit. The second season takes place 2 years after the events of the first, in which Metallicana's castle is destroyed in the battle against the villain of the first season, and all the main characters have been scattered across the other kingdoms of that world, and are shown throughout the season. One cool thing is that in this second season we have most of the characters that were previously enemies of Dark Shinider returning as allies, such as Gaara and Arsha's Nei. Even former villains join the protagonist in this season, forming a great attacking force to try stop the entity that destroyed the world 400 years from awakening. The second season has a lot of cool battles and a lot of new characters that are interesting, and most of them have their big moment in some battle. One thing I really didn't like was the lack of taking advantage of the 12 sorcerer shoguns. They are 12 characters, but most don't have individual battles. To explore the unique powers and abilities of each one, only 2 or 3 of them have fights against the protagonist during the second season, and everyone else either doesn't fight or only appears in action in a generic way during the final battle. This I really didn't enjoy, as the 12 sorcerer shoguns are established early on as the main threat this season, but we didn't get to see most of them in action, and I understand that's part of the way the story was handled, but I was really disappointed with this. It gives me the same feeling of the characters members of Janae Raiden from Hunter x Hunter, who are characters that seem to be very interesting, but that we didn't have the opportunity to see them being deepened. But the Monio, so is the second season any good? If I haven't watched the anime yet, do you recommend it? Well, if you watched the first season and liked it, most likely you will like the second one, since all the outstanding features that we found in the first one. Here everything is expanded, more fighting, more blood, more nudity, more breaking of the fourth wall. But if you've never seen Bastard, I tell you that this is a very trashy anime, and that it's not for everyone, since it has an extremely silly and clueless humor, practically serving as a parody of its genre, and extremely childish and irritating who keeps bragging all the time. And I would say that he does have a lot of charisma, but definitely not everyone will like him, since not everyone enjoys that kind of humor. And the anime also has a lot of unnecessary nudity. In the first season we had more female nudity, but in the second season they decided to put more naked men too, maybe to balance things out a bit. But if you are a person who is bothered by that, you will probably not enjoy it. Other than that, the fights are interesting, especially the fights involving the protagonist, and the animation, in general, is good, despite having moments where the quality drops. There is also a version of the 1992 anime, which in general is more serious for those who don't like that silly humor, and this anime is well done, and has a very interesting aesthetic of the anime of the time that I think is very cool. This anime is available dubbed on YouTube. I'll leave the link in the pinned comment for anyone interested in watching. But what about you? Do you agree with me? What did you think of the second season of Bastard? Leave it in the comments, and subscribe to follow the next videos. Until next time my people, demonic hugs.